Welcome to a lesson about distinguishing the topics, main ideas, and supporting details in pieces of writing. What's the point? Identifying topics, main ideas, and supporting details. Identifying the point of a piece of writing involves knowing the topic and the main idea. It's important to be able to distinguish between the topic of a piece, or its subject, and the main idea, or the author's message, in order to have a complete grasp of the author's purpose. Authors use topic sentences to state the subject of their writing. Then they use both major and minor details to develop and support their main ideas. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to define the terms topic, main idea, and supporting detail. Explain the relationship between the topic, the main idea, and the supporting details in a paragraph. Distinguish topics from main ideas. Distinguish between main ideas and supporting details. Contrast major with minor supporting details. Identify the main idea of a text. Identify the purpose of a topic sentence. Compare and contrast general and specific levels of detail. Here are the latest headlines from my life. Financial aid foul-up. Benefit bust. Past success, present mess. There was a change to my financial aid benefit, a big one, and now I don't know what I'll do. I received a letter from the financial aid office from my school informing me that for several reasons my financial aid benefit was going to be reduced. It's confusing, but it seems to be because of several things. My expected family contribution is too high. My cost of attendance is not high enough. I have a scholarship from years ago. I don't understand. I think the scholarship thing is a mistake. I received that years ago, and it was something that would be renewed, but only based on satisfactory academic progress. I definitely didn't meet that requirement. My grades were terrible, and if I hadn't quit school, I would probably have flunked out anyway. I was already on academic probation after a semester. The rest of it, though, I just don't get. How can I have too much money? I'm buried in bills. How can I have too little need? I can barely make ends meet as it is. Obviously, the problem here is that without financial assistance, I can't make it through school and pay my bills. I'm only working 20 hours a week, and that's not enough for me to take care of myself and my kids and go to school. I need help. But my financial aid benefit has been reduced so much that now I'm not getting the help I need. Something needs to be done because I can't live on this little. I might need to quit school if I can't pay for it. I don't want to do that, but I don't see any other way. I'd have to go back to a full-time schedule to pay the bills, and that doesn't leave enough time for my classes and schoolwork. To figure this out, I need to look carefully at what the problem is. That starts with understanding things like what this letter from the financial aid office is telling me. To analyze something like this, it helps to be able to sort out things like the topic, the main idea, and the supporting details. This can help me understand exactly what I'm being told. It can help me identify the real problem and why the problem exists. This is what I've learned. Most pieces of writing have a topic, at least one main idea, and details that support the main idea or ideas. Understanding the relationship between the topic, main idea, and supporting details in a piece of writing can clarify the author's purpose and meaning. The topic or subject of a piece of writing is often stated in a topic sentence. The main idea of a piece of writing is the author's major message about the subject. Authors use both major and minor supporting details to develop and defend their main ideas. I think I need to take a step back and look at this problem carefully. I'm feeling really emotional about it, but I can't panic. I need to think. Here's what the letter I received says. This letter is to inform you of an adjustment to the amount of your financial aid entitlement based on new regulatory guidelines defining the level of student financial need. There have been a number of recent rule changes in the disbursement of financial aid benefits to students in order to encourage the enrollment of low-income students. Accordingly, more scrutiny is to be given to the true financial need of students receiving financial aid. Because you are employed and have received an academic scholarship, the amount of your financial aid benefit has been adjusted according to the new guidelines. To be specific, these adjustments were as follows. The cost of attendance was adjusted to a lower level commensurate with the new guidelines for students who commute to campus from home. The expected family contribution was adjusted to a higher level commensurate with the new guidelines for students earning a salary. Your scholarship has been factored into cost of attendance and your expected family contribution. Because of these factors, your new financial aid benefit will be at a level commensurate with your actual financial circumstances and burden of cost. If you have any questions, please contact the financial aid office. This is a lot to take in, so I need to break it down. I need to look at this carefully. I think to do this, I will look at this letter piece by piece. Trying to understand it all at once is too much. But what are the pieces? In school, I've learned to look at pieces of writing in terms of topics, main ideas, and supporting details. I think I need to look for these in this letter. That can help me break it down into smaller, more understandable pieces. First, I'm going to look for the topic. This should be fairly easy to find because it is the basic subject of the letter. It's what the letter is about in just a few words. But is it that easy? Here are some possible ideas for the topic of this letter. Regulatory changes. Financial aid. Lowered financial benefit. I should think of the topic as the title I would give to this letter. If I can sum up the contents of this letter in just 2 or 3 words, what would those 2 or 3 words be? Let's look at the possibilities. This letter does discuss regulatory changes, but it doesn't focus on the regulatory changes. Instead, it focuses on their effects. The effects of those changes all have to do with adjustments to how much financial aid I will receive. So even though regulatory changes are mentioned, I don't think they are really the topic of this letter. This letter has to do with financial aid, for sure. But is it useful to name that as the topic? The topic should be broad. But calling the topic financial aid seems to be a little too broad. This doesn't get at what it is about financial aid the letter is telling me. I think the topic is lowered financial benefit. That seems to get at what this letter is all about. Now I need to look for the main idea. What's the difference between the main idea and the topic? The topic is the broad subject of the letter. I've identified that as lowered financial benefit. But the main idea is what the letter is saying about the topic. It's the main message the letter is communicating to me. A topic can usually be stated in just a few words, but the main idea takes a complete sentence to state because it is making a specific point about the topic. Have you ever heard somebody ask what the take-home message of something is? When someone asks for the take-home message, they're asking for the thing they really need to remember. They want the gist, the central idea, the thing they most need to remember even if they forget everything else. That's the main idea. It's useful when searching for the main idea to look for a sentence that seems to define the overall point. This is the topic sentence. Why topic sentence instead of main idea sentence? Because basically this is a sentence that states something specific about the topic. Or maybe just because topic sentence sounds better. I don't know. But I do know that usually this sentence is called the topic sentence. I need to look for something that really seems to get at the point of this letter. What is it saying to me? I think this is the best candidate, the very first sentence. This letter is to inform you of an adjustment to the amount of your financial aid entitlement based on new regulatory guidelines defining the level of student financial need. There are new guidelines for financial aid. These have caused my aid benefit to be reviewed, and as a result, it has been adjusted, meaning lowered. That seems to state the entire case pretty well. That's the main idea. What are the supporting details? These are the things in the letter that contribute to the main idea. The bulleted list in the letter includes several examples of these kinds of details. The cost of attendance was adjusted to a lower level commensurate with the new guidelines for at-home students. This says that the estimated cost for me to go to school used to be higher, but now with the new guidelines, it's lower. The cost of attendance determines how much money the school thinks I need. The expected family contribution was adjusted to a higher level commensurate with the new guidelines for working students. This says that because I work, the expected family contribution, or what I have to pay of the cost of attendance, is now higher. Your scholarship has been factored into cost of attendance and your expected family contribution. This seems to say that the scholarship I got years ago has caused my cost of attendance to be lowered and my expected family contribution to be increased. Not fair! My financial aid benefit is my cost of attendance minus my expected family contribution. With lower cost of attendance and higher expected family contribution, my benefit has shrunk quite a bit. The amount is so much lower that I don't know if I'm going to be able to continue to go to school. Without financial aid, my dreams are sunk. I need to figure this problem out, and fast. Great job! You've now finished this section. Continue building your skills by moving on to the next section.